Hello. 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 Hello.
Use the bathroom around
Hello.
there. Bathroom up down that way.
Through the kitchen and go left.
Okay.
And it'll be on your right, down by the end of the fireplace.
I can. Is he looking for that?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Thanks, Lee. I guess those directions.
We're testing. This is our first time going live.
Thanks, Lee.
We want to make sure everyone can hear clearly.
Thanks, Lee.
It would be lovely to have the chant, the Shakti.
Yeah.
Then this will be for the meditation. Is the sound working? Beloved?
Let's see. Let's see. Check.
Testing the volume. Your phone is off, right?
Excuse me?
Your phone, is it on the airplane mode?
Silence.
Off? Silent?
No, it isn't. I'm just going to turn it
Oh,
off.
great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, there is some below, but it can go on now. We
It's
cannot do
working.
anything.
It's working?
Yeah.
It's working? Very good.
To Prashant.
It's called Debbie's Grace.
That's it. We have a few people missing their delay, and several of them are traveling. A lot of the babies are traveling. Kaya is in India. Sandra is still in Brazil. So, okay, it's 7 o'clock. Are we live?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the cloud?
Welcome, the warmest welcome to our first Drinking Bliss Divine Set Song live stream at our new channel, Sri Devi Mahima. We're so grateful you're here, and we had technical difficulty, and I'm not sure. We're going to make sure the sound is good. If any one of you is there on the other side on YouTube, it'd be great to have some feedback. Make sure before we officially start that you can hear. Make sure that it's clear. The microphone, everything was working perfect, but at the last minute it stopped working for no reason, so I want to make sure. Is the sound good?
Great.
Everything is going well? They can hear well?
Clear.
It's clear, wow. Thanks to our volunteer, beloved Prashant, he made it happen for us this evening. We're so grateful. He's been working on that for the last few months doing research, but we're here. So welcome. We're so happy you're here tonight with us. We're going to start by joining our breath as one. Our breath, our heart, our soul, our spirit. So just keep your spine, sit straight with your spine straight and your hands turned upward. Always upward like that. That way it's a mudra of receiving. And the spine, the Muladhara, what we call in the yogic tradition is the Muladhara, the Merudanda, the axis between earth and infinity, where the energy travel. So we're going to take a deep breath, and I have said that many times to, as a friendly reminder for some of you, maybe it's new. You cannot master yourself unless you master your breath, because it starts with the breath. The breath, and when we come into this world, the first thing we do, we breathe in, we inhale. And the last thing we do when we leave this physical form, we exhale. And to become conscious and mindful of that breath, to inhale the divine, inhaling the prana. So together we're going to breathe gently for a few breaths. You can put the chant in the background. Feel your breath caressing, going up and down your spine. Breath with your mind, relax everything. You relax every muscle in your body temple, everything. The mind has the power to manifest, to create, and to be your best friend. So use it as a tool, mindfully, without even saying anything, through your breath. Relax everything, every little muscle. Release all the tension. everyone can hear clearly on YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah? Beautiful. Well, you did it. Beautiful. So, talking about something, the universal truth, the absolute truth, when there is nothing really to talk about, only to experience it in silence, the divine presence is, how can we talk about that? The unspeakable. However, a question has come, and many more questions related to the subject, on duality and non-duality. And I thought it would be beautiful to demystify it a little bit, to bring the subject this evening and explore that topic. Even though we did a video similar to that, but we'll bring a different perspective here this evening. We'll have a short session Q&A, and then we'll have a guided meditation at the end. And so, duality and non-duality, that's always a mystery. A lot of people get very confused. What is it, non-duality, and why do we live in a world of duality? To really understand fully on this subject is to really bring about relative truth and absolute truth. You see, beloved, in the physical world, for it to exist, you need polarity, you need duality. You could look at it like, we could say, to trace back a little bit, it's from the grossest to the subtlest, from the compulsion to the stillness. We could say also from darkness to light. Because, and we could say as well, the divine masculine energy and the feminine energy, what we say in the Yogic tradition, Shiva Shakti, Shiva, that which that is not, or we could say pure consciousness, Nirgun Brahma, that pure consciousness needs the primordial energy, the divine feminine energy, to manifest. So when the two, they come about into the cosmos, they manifest duality. So without the polarity in the world of the physical realm, we could not have what we experience here, how we would be able to tell from darkness to light, and or love to hatred. And so that is the relative truth. In this physical world, in order for it to manifest, polarity, duality, sustain it. Without it, the physical world would not exist. It's hard for people to understand how can be duality, non-duality. So on the relative realm, which is in the physical realm, relative truth is always bound to be subjected to condition, to cause and effect. You see what I'm saying so far? Absolute truth is always unchanging, untouched, omnipotent, omnipresent, eternal, infinite. And so the absolute truth belongs to the realm of non-duality. Non-duality always would be with absolute truth. So I will give some example to help grasp that, because I don't want this satsang to become philosophy, because spirituality is not about philosophy, but we will have some question and we can delve deeper into the subject. So, example of absolute truth, which is non-dual. We can think of the law of the universe, like the law of cause and effect, the law of attraction. We can think of the three gunas, the principle that animate this universe. The gunas, which are the principle of lucidity, of activity and inertia. Those are the three gunas which I elaborate in Becoming the Light Inner Journey. But let's look at the seed, for example. When you grab a seed, let's say it's a mango seed. Well, we know that a seed, whatever is the seed, the absolute truth is the seed is a seed, and within the seed has the full potential to bring about a fruit. In the case of a seed, a mango seed, if the conditions are favorable, which is the relative truth, you got the seed. The universal absolute truth is, we know in the seed, if it's properly here with the right cause and effect and condition, it's going to grow into a beautiful mango tree and it will bear the fruit. That's the relative truth. And it takes condition for that to happen, the right condition, the right amount of rain, not too much rain, but just, and as the plants start growing, the condition will have to change also. Too much sun will burn the plant. If there's too much wind, it might destroy the plant if it's in a very early stage. And eventually it grows into a beautiful mango tree. With time, fruitation, it will bear a fruit. And that's the relative truth, because it is in the physical form. Another example, which is deeper, is we look at the whole debate of so many centuries of the Atma, the soul. You see, beloved, the soul is there and is not there. So both is true, relatively and absolute truth. So when an entity comes, a being, a human being comes into the physical form, it has a soul, it has an entity to carry this karmic structure, that seed. It comes, it manifests, you become a human being, and eventually has that seed of you. We could look at you as a seed pack that holds the whole cosmos, because within ourselves we are we're microscopic of the microscopic. So we could look at it, we're a seed in some ways. If the conditions are right, and spiritual unfoldment will happen, enlightenment will happen naturally, and liberation will happen. And as the being leave the physical realm, the absolute truth is, as there is the merging of the soul with the ultimate pure reality, the truth, the absolute truth, whatever we call it, the absolute creator, then the soul is no longer, because it's merged, it's beyond that. So we could look at it the same as a wave, a unique wave who manifests into the physical form. Has a very unique form. The condition of the wave, of the elan, the movement of the sea, of every element that created that unique wave, it's in the relative truth. And then when it merges into the ocean, we could say this is the absolute truth. That is, we know that the wave always exists in the ocean. There is always a wave, but it's no longer. It has merged within that ocean. The same with the shadow. The shadow is there, and yet it's not there. So the absolute truth, we could say, there's always shadow. Shadow will always be there as long as it is, the conditions are right. The relative truth will bring about the shadow, different kind of shadow, different intensity. So the path, the bridge is from how do you go from duality to non-duality. For the thinking mind, the agitated mind, it's very difficult to really experience a non-dual experience, which is our true nature. Absolute truth is our true nature, to be beyond the personality, karmic structure, accumulation and conditioning. Because what is, beloved, really in the way between your mastery and your dream is just that. It's just that prefabricated cage that was formed by you with time. The karmic structure, the personality. Because when you look at personality, what is it? It's not who you are. It's just something you have accumulated. All the like, the dislike, the conditioning, the brainstorming, either consciously or unconsciously, it was inculcated by your own upbringing, your environment. And so that's the boundary that gets into the way to really experience a state of what Devima called your divine presence. Because the absolute truth of who we are divine presence. It's always there. The question is, do you experience it? And there are different ways. In Advaita Vedanta, we could say, or any other path of present moment, you could look at Zen Buddhism too as well. For the thinking mind, like I was saying, it's very hard to cross through all the Maya kosha. We talked about that in previous satsang. And without going into the name of the yogic term, but we could call it the food body. Is there different sheet, different layer? And then the mind, the mental body, which is a big one to cross for most people. Then the pranic maya kosha, which is the energy body. Those are the three fundamental, at the very root, that is hard for most human beings, unless they're doing sadhana, spiritual practices, especially Kriya, to really get rid of that boundary, because there's two ways, and this has been my experience, not only with my own life and many lifetimes, but what I have seen around in my own entourage for so many decades and my own babies, is that either you make a distance from the mind, it's possible, but for most human beings it's hard, because we live in a world that is so fast, and the karmic structure is so strong, and personality is so strong, and it is constantly in the go and absorbing sensory impression constantly, and most people are not aware. They get bombarded with so much sensory impression. So when they sit to try to still the mind, go from the grossest to the subtlest, it's very, very hard, but it's definitely possible. So That's one way. And the other way is through intense sadhana, a lot of sadhana. Depending on the intensity of your longing, how much you want to experience the absolute truth, your true nature, experiencing the divine within. And as this transcend, because when we talk about non-duality, it's also a transcendent experience that you can go really beyond body and mind. And then we talk about the first three basic, the food body, the mental body, the panic body, energy body, and then etheric body, the Vishvaya Maya Kosha. It's like the cosmic mind where all experiences happen, samadhi happen. I hope I didn't move anything. And then there's the bliss body. This is who we are. The bliss body is our divine presence, Satchit Ananda. Satchit Ananda is the absolute truth of who we are. I'm not the first one to say that. This has been transmitted for so many thousands of years by so many great masters, that absolute truth. Paramahansa was one who talked so much about that. Paramahansa used to say, one drop of divine love will intoxicate you and you will experience your divine presence. He didn't use the word divine presence, but he said Satchit Ananda. They're the same. They quote divine love equal divine presence equal Satchit Ananda. Sat, absolute truth. Chit, omnipotent, omnipresence, infinite, untouchable and unchanging. That's who we are. I feel it. It's just Shakti is running through like crazy. And Ananda, bliss. So, through sadhana, through kriya. But there is a third way. The third way is when you combine both. You can make a distance from your mind. You train yourself not only with mindful practices, but to be able to create that distance. And then combining the sadhana. I cannot tell you how powerful sadhana can be to really get rid of the boundary. The question is, how deep is your longing? How do you listen inside within yourself? Are you in touch with your longing? Do you feel it? Because listening is not just hearing with your ears. Listening is to listen with your heart, your soul, and your spirit. Every form in the universe has a sound, a reverberation. The universe has a universal sound. The cosmos has a universal sound. Can you hear it? And that's one aspect we're going to do in the meditation. And when we get there very shortly, we will hear the sound of Aum. That sound is eternal, is omnipotent, omnipresent, unchanging. That sound is the absolute truth. The word came first. And to really hear that sound vibrating within. So, from duality, where we experience this physicality, we can transcend that. That's the beauty of this world, is when we recognize and accept and see that duality is our creator who have manifested this physical realm that is perfect. And that's how we experience the joy of being alive, to breathe, to love, to dance, to see, to have feelings and have emotion. Without it, the gross world, which is the physical realm, would not be in existence. So when you recognize that, you embrace that, and you accept that, it changes your perspective. And that you know that non-duality is the absolute truth. And we can tap into that. We can transcend and go into the beyond. Because also we know within that seed pack, with all the right condition, we bring about a fruit. And the fruit is Satchit Ananda. So from duality to non-duality, from untruth to truth, darkness to light, ignorance to enlightenment, from compulsion to stillness, from the gross to the subtle. This is where we walk, and we can experience that. Even in that moment, even in Zen Buddhism, you can definitely transcend that in a moment. However, what I have seen with either my babies or my entourage over the decades is very hard for people to maintain it. The question is, and I will ask you, would you rather make a distance with your mind? Sometimes you don't have a choice because it's a progression also. But if you were granted a boon right now, what would you want? Make a distance from that boundary, that ultimate boundary you have created? Or would you rather get rid of that boundary? I'm asking you the question.
Get rid of
Get
the
rid
mind.
of it.
Let's get rid of it. I want to hear it louder.
Get rid of it.
Let's get rid of it. That's it. Because our human nature, which is truly at the very core of who we are, our spiritual nature, is to be free. No boundaries. Constantly seeking freedom. Because ultimately that's what we are seeking. That deep longing, hada, is to be free. Free from all boundaries. And the human being is the wildest animal on the planet because we have consciousness, we have mindfulness, and most people are not aware that human beings are the ones who have enslaved themselves. From enslavement to freedom, that's the choice. But it requires commitment, it requires really deep listening, and self-effort, and surrender. So before we go into the meditation, let's take a few questions. We're going to be on time this evening because I could keep you for the whole week here. We could just sit down and also long meditation, but the goal is for satsang to be an hour and a half. Sometime, depending how it goes, sometimes we extend it for 2 hours, but there's not much to talk about rather than just really truly experience. And this was the very core. But let's see, anyone has questions online or here in the sanctum? Anyone? Anyone online?
No.
Any question?
Not right now.
No, don't feel shy because I know last time you asked a lot of questions, Vicendra,
I know that.
which was great because we were way late, but it was beautiful. It was wonderful to have all those questions.
I don't at the moment, but I might.
It'll be hard to take questions at the end because
I know, but if I don't have any right
no,
now.
that's absolutely.
Can you talk a little bit more about the gunas?
About the gunas?
Yes.
Absolutely. The three gunas, according to the Maharishi, the question was to elaborate on the three gunas. Guna means it's a quality. In the yogic tradition, the Maharishi talked a lot about the gunas. Thousands and thousands of years, they have perceived the nature of the cosmos. That, in a way, we could say the three gunas is like a law. It's an absolute truth. It's the quality that dominate the universe. So we have first tamas. There's three of them: tamas, raja, and rajastic. So tamas is based on the principle of inertia. Inertia, that in the universe, everything at one point go into a dormant state. But even though it's dormant, there's activity happening. It's like the tree in the winter. The tree looks dead, right, in the winter, especially if you're in a country where it's snowing and it's cold. If you are down in Canada, where I grew up, you would think the tree are dead, but a lot of activity, and that's necessary. The same for us when we go to sleep. We are in a state of inertia. It's a quality that is necessary. We human beings, everything in the universe, including the animal, every manifestation into the physical realm is ruled by the three gunas. And the question is which one that governs us, we human beings. And that's something we can become mindful of it and aware of which one is dominating. Then after that, Raj based on the principle of action, active in the world. Like you see the ants, or the little school, they're getting ready for the winter. They're working like non-stop, accumulating the nuts and putting them away, or the birds, when they're getting ready for the spring to give birth, you see them really active into creating a beautiful nest. We human beings also, we're dominated also by Raj, that guna, that quality. Then comes Rajastic.
Sattva.
Sattvic, thank you. Yeah, the sattva. Sattvic. Sattvic, it was just the semantic, the word of it. Sattva is like, you could say like, it comes also like from Bodhisattva, one that is beyond the intellect, the reasoning. Sattva, that is based on the principle of lucidity. So, when there is transcendence, there is a sattvic nature. Any kind of non-doership of being is sattvic. You could say meditation, sadhana. We could even say sattvic guna's quality can be someone who is vegan, someone who is keeping its prana vibrancy, through all of those things, organic vegan food, a lot of meditation, a lot of sadhana. Even in your way you speak can be very sattvic too. Your whole energy field can become sattvic. So the point of this is all of us in the universe, we're subjected to those three gunas. The question is, most people are not aware of the gunas, or maybe they know of it, but it's just an intellectual thing. But they don't ask themselves, which one is governing right now in my life? Why don't you ask yourself that question? What are you ruled by? Tamas, Rajas, or Sattvic? And the other question you may ask yourself is, how can I increase my sattvic nature? Because when you increase your sattvic nature, this will help you going through the bridge, crossing from duality to non-duality, this transcendence from the gross to the subtle. How can I increase my sattvic? More sadhana, less ingestion of sensory impression out in the world. Are you mindful of that? The Buddha talked a lot about that. How you go in your days. Are you practicing mindfulness of what you're ingesting? Are you practicing deep listening, loving speech? Are you doing sadhana? Are you doing any kriya pranayama? What kind of food are you eating? Are you eating food that is vibrant in prana? So all those questions you may ask. And when you become aware of it, nothing is wrong to be dominated by tamasic or more by raja. Sometimes through life, one might dominate more for certain reason, and as long as you know why, it's perfectly all right. If you're aware that, okay, right now I'm going through an illness, let's say, the person needs more sleep, then in this case, tamasic will be necessary. The principle of inertia to rest the body temple, to allow it. But as soon as you get back on your feet, you can still increase your sattvic. So does it help? Does it help, Shubi?
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's more to be said about that, but now that you know, and some of you know the principle of it, is that you can really, what's empowering about this is you can really look at your life and how are you impacted by the gunas? And why? Why? Like someone who is very compulsive or workaholic would really be dominated by raja. That's another example. But the secret on the spiritual path, when you hear the deep longing, and you allow grace to happen, not only by in the state of surrender and gratitude, and be open and receptive to divine love and grace to flow, but also to always look at you day to day. How can I be more sattvic in my life? In the way I talk, the way I interact with people. Do you bless people every time? In your thoughts, in your words, do you use your magical wand? V, do you remember what is your magical wand? Or Joe? Let's ask Joe. Joe is actually doing the program right now, Becoming the Light Inner Journey. Do you remember?
Well, I think there's different aspects of it, like your thoughts, your words, your actions, your intentions.
Your volition.
Right, it's all part of it, aspects of it.
Excellent. Now you really got it. But in addition to that, your emotion, because see, beloved, your thoughts will affect your words, will definitely affect your emotion and your feelings. Because first of all, you have to be aware and mindful of your thoughts. Most people are not, because they're conditioned with a lot of thought pattern, right? And then if you're not aware that you have a thought pattern and you don't even realize how you jabbering, that false sense of self all the time, telling you things, that little voice in the background, that's the hardest for everyone. That's why mindful practices is so important, and sadhana. Because sadhana will help you make that distance, will help you get rid of that boundary that we talk about. All the samskara the impression that has formed in your physical body from the karmic structure and the vasana. And then it will, so when you become aware and mindful of your thought pattern and you catch yourself, like from a problem to a challenge, that's a completely different energy, you see, beloved? Instead of saying, God, I got a terrible problem, and it's like putting so much energy into it and reinforcing a samskara that is negative, then it will affect your energy, it will affect your emotion, it will affect your feelings. So when it starts from the thoughts are energy, they manifest and they will create your energy field. And they will affect your words. And then your words will affect your action. And all of that, it affects your entire energy field, your pranic, maya kosha, what you emanate, and especially your emotion and your feelings. You can change your feelings and your emotion. You can become in touch with them because you never want to suppress them, number one. And if you feel, my experience with emotion and feelings is, first, you go back to your breath and allow that feeling and that emotion to come. And then make that distance from it, whatever it is. Allow it to be expressed. Because if you don't express it and you repress it, it will become a samskara. A samskara, as it's in groove more and more, then it becomes a karmic structure. That's how people fall into major depression, because there's so much repression. They have never been in touch with all of those samskara. You see what I'm saying? People, where you see people in their personality who have a personality that is compulsive, depressive, low energy, it's those beings are the ones who have repressed and have created a lot of samskara. So let's go into the meditation. Mm-hmm. Any more questions before we start the meditation?
I'd like to just say that I'm not aware of all the Indian terms, so I can't...
You mean the Sanskrit?
Yes,
yeah.
The Sanskrit terms.
Yeah.
So many terms I don't even know what they are.
Oh, that's completely all right.
Yeah, so I don't know what you're talking about when you're saying things like, I can't even remember the word, like you said something with a V, I don't know, like...
Oh, the Vishvaya Maya Kosha is the etheric body.
But there are so many words. I would like it if you could just say what they are. Like when
oh yeah, definitely. But I won't go because it's a long teaching. It is in Becoming the Light Inner Mastery Program, the Inner Journey Program. Without going into the yogic term, because they're yogic term, they are in Sanskrit, I'll just say it in pure simple language.
Yes.
They're sheets. And I won't go into this because we could talk about this for hours, and that's why Becoming the Light Inner Journey Program, there's a whole voyage on that. But I'm glad you brought that up. And we talked about that before, but don't worry if certain things you don't understand, it's completely all right. What matters is you get the essence of it. And then you can ask questions, and then you hear energetically together. That's what's most important. So there is the food body, the Annamaya Kosha. Don't try to memorize it, just food body. And there is the Manamaya or Manomaya Kosha. That's the mental body. And then after that we have the energy body. This is the Pranamaya Kosha. They're sheets. They're like envelope. They're in the subtle body. So those are the three first core that needs to be transcended to be able to tap into the beyond. into the Vishvaya Maya Kosha, which is the etheric body. Etheric body is where you really go beyond, that you can transcend and have a state of non-duality. Do you follow? And it's okay even if you don't understand now, because it's not something to necessarily to understand. And then there's the bliss body. Bliss, not the ice cream, because there used to be a great coconut ice cream called the Bliss coconut ice cream. Bliss, our true nature. So the bliss body, the Ananda Maya Kosha. Is that a little clearer?
Yeah, but there were a lot of terms that you used that I just didn't know what you were referring to. It wasn't really about the Maya Koshas, it was other terms you were using, and I don't even remember what they are.
It'll
So
come
like,
back.
just like if you say a term, like even if you say like Kriyas, you know, you just briefly say what that is, because I don't even
yes.
know. I
But
don't even
you
know.
did ask the question last time, but it's okay, it's completely alright to ask again. Kriya, it means, first of all, the Kriya is pranamaya. Kriya is a pranayama. It's a breathing exercise.
Okay.
It's learning how to control the prana. Because that's essentially prana, maya, pranayama. Sorry, I mixed up this. Pranayama is just learning how to control the pranic energy. So kriya is just mean an action. Yeah. When you're not sure of that, and it takes time, so you forget, you know, from month to month, and it's like, unless you are daily practicing and being in the program and doing sadhana, then it comes. It's baby step. And it's okay if you don't remember from one month to another month.
It's not on the test.
That's it. There is no test. There is no test. And it's irrelevant, really. What matters is you're here right now with us. And I'm glad you asked those questions, because some other people might not know either. And when you're not sure if I go too fast or there's something that is unclear, you can just raise your hands and just ask.
I just can't even remember some of these terms that you've used, because, I mean, Kriya is easy to remember, and even the last term you said, I don't even know. I would think it's a practice, but I don't know the term actually. You've used it a lot, but I don't know the term. Because
You mean in terms of sadhana?
yeah, I think it's sadhana. It's like a practice or something.
Sadhana, it just means spiritual practices.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but
Yeah.
I didn't know what it meant. So, like, for example, you're using a lot of terms that are unfamiliar to me because I haven't studied, like, the Vedic scriptures or Hindus or Sanskrit. I haven't studied these things, so you just say what it is.
But there's nothing to study. Spirituality is not about studying. That's why I said spiritual sadhana is spiritual practices. It's okay. You can ask again next month. It's good because some people don't know. Yeah, that's why normally when I say a yogic term, I normally translate it in English right after. Yeah, and even if you don't remember, you can pronounce it. Eventually, it will come.
Right.
Yeah, because everyone I've been exposed to different things. You know, some people are much longer on the spiritual path. They know those terms. Shall we start the meditation?
Yes.
Any question on YouTube?
No.
Okay. We're going to, so what we're going to do for 10 minutes, put your attention and your awareness on the sound of Let it vibrate within you being. You don't have to chant it, but you just hear it. And the sound is a primordial sound, is the ultimate sound. of the universe. That sound, the awestruck sound, is also being heard in the Anahata. Anahata is the heart chakra. It's awestruck because it's eternal, it's absolute, it's within our true nature. And it is in the universe, and we can hear it within our own being. And so it helps to transcend, to cross the barrier from duality to non-duality. So we'll start with that for 5-10 minutes, and after we will do a guided meditation, and you can lay down on the ground very comfortably. It's called In the Womb of Creation, and it's a Nidra yoga meditation. And so before, when you lay down, think of your Sankalpa. Sankalpa means intention. What are your highest intention for yourself and for every living being on the planet? When we think in terms of Sankalpa, it's not that it serves only our being, but it serves all being. So you think, what are your Sankalpa? You can do that when you lay down. Now we're going to do being in presence with the sounds of Om. If you may, beloved, just put the meditation chant.
What?
Is it possible for you to lay down?
Lay down?
Yeah, for this meditation. It's a guided meditation, and should be. You can take a pillow if you want for your head.
Fine.
Okay, it will be better for you as well. Everyone on YouTube, if you can lay down for this one, just lay down. Completely give in into this moment right now. Completely take a deep, deep breath. Just with the power of your mind, just relax everything in your body temple right now. Just mindfully breathe in the Divine Mother. Breathe in that prana that is healing and that is empowering and that is transforming. And now, if you have back problem, you could put a pillow underneath your knee. Just relax your hands also on the side. Now, tight your entire body temple. Make a fist with your hands and tight, very, very tight, tight, all muscle. Everything, you've got to tie it up. Everything tight, you've got the power to tie every muscle. And now let go. Take a deep breath. Shh. Let go of everything right now. Everything doesn't serve you. Take another deep, deep breath. And tie up again for a second time. Tie up everything, really strong, everything. Your arms, your legs, your abdomen, everything just really tight. And then let go. Relax everything. And take a last third deep breath. And tie a third time, the last time, and now you tied it like your life is on it. Tight really strong, every muscle tight really strong. And then let go to the power of your magical one. Just let go every little tension in your body temple. Let go of everything right now. Can everyone hear on YouTube well? Now, visualize within your body temple. See every little cell of your body temple is starting to dismantle. Start seeing your feet. Your feet are completely dismantling. All the little cells are starting to wave out of your body temple. And now in your legs, and then your abdomen, and your arms, and your hands, your neck, your head. Use the power of your imagination. See in your body temple this wave of energy that is coming out of you. Everything is dismantling. See it going out in the universe. As you see it, your body temple is being dismantled. Every cell, every organ, your gut, your heart, your lungs. See how it's all starting to flow, dismantling. Your liver, your reproductive organs, your muscle, your lymph, your skeleton. Everything is floating up in the air and you are disappearing. That not you, your ultimate truth, but the body temple which is relative, that lives in a world of duality. Your brain, it's all dismantling. See that wave of all those iron, all those cells are starting to vanish and they're crossing through the universe and they're leaving and they're going all over. And the last part is your skeleton. All your bone, your spine, all evaporating like a mist in the ocean of divine love. It is floating. And now nothing is left of the physical realm of your body temple. Only pure consciousness. Now, see it floating. See it going across the universe, across the suns and the nebula. And keep being mindful and conscious of that flow of prana animating your breath, that universal, infinite, absolute breath. That is pure consciousness. Now bring your sankalpa. Sankalpa means intention from Sanskrit. Bring the first sankalpa. What do you want to create, co-create with the absolute truth, with the supreme intelligence? Visualize it and use your magical wand to manifest and co-create. Relax your arm on the side. Give yourself the gift of complete surrender in this moment, of faith, of trust that within you, the Creator is right there at the very core of your the sacred, supreme lover. It's right within. So see that sankalpa and intention. Reinforce it right now. Now bring the second sankalpa, the second intention, and co-create with the Divine Mother. Hold the vision, materialize it with all your atoms of the universe. In that quantum field, all the energy is there to co-create. now is being empowered. Bring your third sun scalp up. And materialize it with the iron of the universal cosmic divine mother, Mahashakti, pure primordial energy. Reinforce your first sun's compass. See it again, flash right in front of your consciousness. See it vivid with color, with smell, with movement, with feelings, with volition. Your second sun's countdown. Reinforce it. And now the third sun's countdown. The last one, reinforce it. Manifest. You are creating in your body temple. See how it's all coming like a rainbow, like an ocean of bright light of cells. See it forms a brand new skeleton. Within the skeleton, a brand new heart formed, pumping fresh blood, new lungs, new liver, new spleen, new kidney, every new organ, a new brain, new eyes, new tongue, a new lymph. Everything is rematerializing into a new birth of a fresh body temple that is bright as the sunlight, even brighter than 10,000 suns. See all those particles, they all are reforming one after the other. New skin, new air, new nose, forming new ears, new legs, a brand new skin. New hair. That is vibrating, filled with divine love and light. New energy, radiant. A new breath. New lungs, new eyes to see with clarity, with a new perception, a new perceptive, a new nervous system. A new spine that is filled with divine light. See the light of our Creator with all the different colors from white to yellow to orange to green, blue, red, and violet. See it going through the new Swasthara, which is the 1,000 petal above your head. See it going through and piercing through your spine, the Virudanda. See it, a shaft of light going through, straight through, all the way down through your Muladhara, at the very root of your perineum. See the light flashing through it like lightning. We have a little friend who wants to join us. He's been making noise, I'm sorry about that. Next time we'll have to put him further away so we don't hear him. We're talking about our beloved Kili, Shiva. Yeah, we have many rescue cats, so they love the energy, and they love, actually Shiva, one time he came and saw me and sat right there, and he was just like that, you know, and he was like, I don't know if you were here when this happened, but he was so still and quiet, he just wanted to be there. So next time we'll put him a little further. So this week, hold your Sankalpa very strongly. When you feel like you're out of your breath, you're a little agitated, go back to your breath. Stop. It's important that you take the time to stop, beloved. Stop. If you have a singing bowl or a bell, I am home now. Say it to yourself mindfully, and you stop and go back to your breath. I am perfect right now, in this moment. I am the vast ocean of divine love and light and bliss. That is who I am. And you anchor yourself with gata, with incantation, and through your breath. Do it during the day to bring you back to your home right now, to experience your Supreme Lover within. So let's take a few breaths together. Any question before we close the satsang in regards to anything, the meditation?
It was beautiful.
Thank you. Sure. Bring
Building
back
your online business?
Bring back your Sankalpa during the week. When you stop like that, to go back to your breath and say, I'm perfect right now. My home is now. Then see your Sankalpa. Reinforce them during the week. Always see it manifest with the co-creator with positive, strong Sankalpa, strong intention. Remember, Sankalpa is for your highest good and for the highest good of the entire universe. It's not like just manifesting something just for oneself. It is a sattvic Sankalpa based on the principle of lucidity. So, Om Namah Shivaya, blessing from my heart to your heart, one spirit, one soul. Jai Mahadevi.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.